Hello friends, welcome back. This is Vaid Patade and today we are going to study about the human respiratory system. So let's begin the video. Now let's see the definition of respiration, the process of acquiring oxygen from outside the body and to use it in the process of breakdown of food resources for cellular needs. It's called as respiration. There are two types of respiration. The first one is the aerobic respiration. The process of respiration which takes place in the presence of oxygen is known as aerobic respiration, and this kind of respiration takes place in human beings and mammals. Then the second type of respiration is the anaerobic respiration, and the process of respiration in the absence of oxygen is called as anaerobic respiration, and this kind of respiration takes place in the yeast and some kinds of bacteria. Now let us move on to the organs which are involved in the human respiratory system. The first organ is the nose or a pair of nostrils. Then comes the nasal passage or the nasal cavity. You can see here nasal cavity, I have pointed it. Then the next is the pharynx. Then is the larynx. Larynx actually is also called as voice box. Then comes the trachea, which is also called as windpipe. Then is the bronchi. As you can see here, there are two bronchi. The bronchi are divided trachea gets divided into two bronchi, which are also called as lungs. Then are the several branch-like structure called as the bronchioles. Then is the alveoli, and the last one is the diaphragm. A question arises that what is the function of the human respiratory system? Do you know, friends, what is its function? Actually, the most important function of human respiratory system is the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide gas. So now we need to see how this exchange takes place. So let's see the process of respiration. The air enters in our body through a pair of nostrils. The nostrils contains tiny hair and a sticky substance called as mucus, which prevents the dust particles from entering into our body. Then the air enters the nasal passage or the nasal cavity. Moving further, the air reaches pharynx and then larynx. Larynx is also called as voice box because the vocal cords are present here. Note one thing here, that between the pharynx and larynx there is a flap-like structure called epiglottis. You can see here, this is the epiglottis actually, and it has an important function actually. During breathing, it is pointed upwards, allowing the airflow into the trachea. However, during swallowing the food, it falls down or closes to prevent the food particle from entering into trachea and directing the food into esophagus. Means what happens actually, the way for the trachea or the windpipe is closed when the food is swallowed and the food is directed into esophagus. Really, actually our human body is amazing. Anyway, let's move back to our airflow. Now let us see where does our air go. Come on, let us see. Trachea, which is composed of rings of cartilage. The airflow then continues and reaches into bronchi. Actually, the trachea is divided into two bronchi, means the lungs. The bronchi is then divided into several branches, also called as bronchioles, and it finally reaches the alveoli, the bronchioles actually, means they are connected to alveoli, and the air through bronchioles finally reaches the alveoli where the exchange of gases takes place. Each alveolar sac is surrounded by millions of capillaries, and the oxygen enters the alveolar sac and the gas exchange occurs. Capillaries gives up the carbon dioxide and picks up the oxygen. Carbon dioxide is then exhaled out of the body through the same tract by which the air entered our body. So friends, this was the functioning of our human respiratory system. Hope you all understood and liked the video. I have shared important notes in the description, so don't forget to take those notes because those are very important for this topic.